teacher Molly from the Junior Museum and Zoo, and I'm here in my Palo Alto neighborhood with my neighbor's horse Bella, and she is an Arabian horse. And right now I'm feeding her baby carrots. They are herbivores. Carrots are pretty high in sugar, so this is just a snack. I'm giving her baby carrots because she's an old lady. She's around 30, and usually they only live 30 years, so she's kind of at the end of her life. And old lady, and she's really bad teeth, so she needs to grind up any tough plant matter to be able to digest it. And the baby carrots are just a little easier for her to break down than a big carrot. But as I mentioned, she is an Arabian horse, and they're actually pretty special because our spines, our backbones, are made out of little bones called vertebrae, and Arabians are actually missing a vertebrae right by their tailbone, which makes their tail and butt look a lot higher. So I'm gonna see if I can move her around. Come on, Bella. Come on. Oh, come here. Come for the carrot.
Hi, Bella.
Hi, she wants to see Miss Mikey. Maybe, Mikey, if you can show, she has this big suede back. She used to be ridden. Her owner used to go horseback riding, and it gave her over time this big suede back, and now that she's older, she's retired from riding, and we'll give her a little break. And then Arabians are also missing a rib. They only have 17 ribs as opposed to 18, which most horses have. So she has one less rib and one less vertebrae, so less bones, and she's a mare. That means she's a female horse. And what's really cool about horses is they actually walk on their toes. As we walk on the sole of our feet, I'm just gonna show you real quick her leg. Hi, baby girl. This is her knee, and this is her ankle, and this is actually her toenail, her hoof. So I'm going to lift up that hoof and see if we can get in close and see what the bottom of the hoof looks like. So Miss Mikey, come in. Bit of dirt and manure in here, but so this is her heel, and this is her toe, and this is the quarter, and this is the sole of her foot. This is the outer hoof wall. We call this part, this groove in here, the white line. This kind of triangle or arrow shape is the frog, the central sulcus of the frog, the apex of the frog, collateral groove right in here. This is the bar. Okay, there's a little bar right here coming out, and then the bulb of the heel, and that is some horse hoof anatomy. See if I can get some of this stuff off so it doesn't hurt her foot to walk on so much. But that is a horse walking on its toe. We love horses so much. The humane societies in this area were actually originally founded not for dogs and cats as we think of them, but for horses. It wasn't that long ago that this area was all orchards and had a lot of horses pulling plows, pulling carts, delivering mail, letting people ride them, carriages. So horses are big working animals. They were really important before cars in the running of a farm, and the Humane Society opened for horses that were being worked too hard, horses that were being abused, or horses that were getting too old to do work and didn't have any value to the farmers and needed a home. So that's originally why that opened, and they're really cool. Horses can run 55 miles per hour. At his fastest, Usain Bolt, who is the fastest person, sprinted 28 miles per hour. So basically they can run twice as fast as we can, but if we build up our endurance, we can actually run for a longer period of time. So if you run for long enough, you can tire out a horse and they'll stop running and you can catch them. But when we're sprinting, there's no way we can catch a horse running at 55 miles per hour. They are absolute powerhouses. So horses are grazers. That means that they eat low grass and plants growing by the ground. But farmers and people who take care of horses also feed them hay, like this grass hay is what we call it, sometimes alfalfa. But because it's so tough and you have to chew it so much to break it down, old lady Bella, who doesn't have great teeth, gets hay in pellet form. So these pellets have the same thing the hay has in it, but we've already broken it down a little bit for her, so it's easier to chew and digest in her stomach. And then once it goes through her stomach and her cecum, horses have something called a cecum, it becomes horse manure. And I'm touching this because unlike us who eat meat, this is mostly just plant matter. And so it's not as gross to touch, and you can actually see some of that plant matter, some of that broken down hay inside of her poo, and they just come in these little poo pellets, manure.